everyone, and welcome to Colleen's Crafting Trove. I'm Colleen, and this video is about Boggy Creek, the Blanket Drive. So, if you haven't heard Boggy Creek, Nancy at She's Got Yarn 2, Billy the Crafty Floridian, and Linette Charmed Grammy are hosting a blanket drive for Boggy Creek Camp in Florida. And they're requesting blankets that are 30 to 40 inches wide and 40 to 50 inches tall. And they're going to hand deliver them to the camp sometime in January or February. Well, I'm not a blanket maker. Really, I'm not. I don't enjoy the process of making blankets. I've made a couple over the years and just really not my thing. Then I heard that Linette at Nina's Knots Crochet was going to be accepting granny squares to put together to make blankets for Boggy Creek, and I'm like, hey, I can do that. I love making granny squares. I just hate putting them together. Well, I shouldn't even say that. I've never put granny squares together, so I don't know if I like it or not. Well, I guess I have, now that I think about it. My poncho, what I'm wearing. By the way, what I'm currently wearing is the Kanata kerchief tank top. I'll have a link down below. Yeah, I'm really not a fan of putting granny squares together now that I think about it. It's not horrible, but it's not my favorite thing. But, so I decided that I was going to do that. I was going to make a bunch of granny squares. Well then, Laura at Mad Mimi's Crochet and Farming put out the challenge to send Linette 17 granny squares with a note that says, I have been double duck dared to make 17 granny squares, and if you include that note with those 17 granny squares, Laura is going to make 3 granny squares. Laura doesn't like making granny squares. So a lot of people are hopping in on the challenge to make Laura make granny squares. Well, and then if in your note you also say quack quack, well, now she might make a couple more. So I was like, let's make Laura make some granny squares. So I started making a ton of granny squares. And when I say a ton of granny squares, this bag is full of granny squares. This bag is full of granny squares. And this is another bag from Jane at Scraptastic Yarns. I'll have her linked below. This one I got from Mary Maxim a while back. But I was like, you know what? I'll just dig out a bunch of my Red Heart Super Saver because I'm never going to use it for anything else. I was like, I'll dig out a bunch of my Red Heart Super Saver and I will start making granny squares. So there's a stack. Here's the stack. This was kind of a partial ball. And I had dug out a bunch of Red Heart Super Saver. There's another stack. I still have more of the red. I still have, there went a stitch marker, a couple more of gray. I had grabbed a couple of these. And then I was putzing around in my stash the other day, and I found what's in this bag, and I was like, oh my gosh, those would work too. So I haven't weaved in my ends on these yet. I started making these, and this is, nope, that's not the open ball. This is just my stripe from Lion Brand. I had a bunch of these that I had gotten in a Mary Maxim crochet kit. I had 6 balls. So this was one full ball, I think, plus one granny square or part of one. And then I'm this far on this one. And I was like, alright, I'm gonna, okay, finish up making what I'm making, and I'll call that good. Well, I was watching Linette earlier today, and, or was it yesterday? Yesterday or today. And she is already getting overwhelmed. So I've decided I am going to stop when I get done with this ball, send what I have so far. Hopefully it'll be a quantity of 17, and then I can do my Quack Quack and have Mad Mimi or Laura making some more granny squares. So that's kind of where I'm at. I think I might still have a few more out in the living room, because that's where I've got, like I said, I still have a partial ball of this red. I'm going to finish that out. I'm going to finish this one, and then I'm going to send in what I've got. And then for the rest of it, I will just make some more granny squares with what I was originally gonna send to Linette and put them together myself, I guess, and send them off to Nancy. Finished blankets need to go to Nancy, and I'll have her linked down below, along with where to send finished blankets to. Squares, I'll have Linette linked down below. I'll also link Laura at Mad Mimi, and Billy, and because Nancy, Billy, and Linette, they all go live on Wednesdays when there's enough blankets that have arrived to do a live. So yeah, everything will be linked down below. I hope I have all the information right. I do know that it needs to be 30 to 40 inches by 40 to 50 inches for the size of the complete blankets. And then the granny squares, they need to be 5 by 5 squares if you're going to send granny squares to Linette. What else? I think that's it. Oh, and it needs to be made, the 5 by 5 granny squares need to be made with worsted weight acrylic yarn, and try to have it as close to a 5 by 5 as possible, so that she can just easily border them and put them together. She does not want anything other than a 5 by 5 granny square, so try and keep them as close to 5 by 5 as you can. And I think that's all I have for this video. Like I said, I'll have everything linked down below. Mad Mimi's challenge, Linette's video about what she needs, a video from Nancy explaining Boggy Creek, and yeah. So thank you for joining me today. And hopefully you like what you saw so far, and hopefully you'll get in on the Boggy Creek Blanket Drive. I guess I should probably tell you what Boggy Creek is, huh? So Boggy Creek is a camp for children who have medical issues that would not allow them to go to a regular sleepaway camp. You know, kids that are on ventilators, have severe asthma, that are really sick and need, basically need 24/7 care. Boggy Creek, I believe it was Paul Newman and somebody else created the camp to allow these kids to join or to come, live a little. And it's specific, um, there's like specific weeks that certain illnesses are there together so that the kids can be together with somebody who's going through the same thing they are. And they have doctors and nurses that specialize in that particular case there to treat the kids in case anything happens. It sounds like a wonderful, wonderful camp, and I think everybody needs to get involved and send in their blankets. Last year, Nancy and Billy and Linette managed to gather about 350 blankets. This year, their goal is 700, so they'd like to double what they did last year. The camp goes through about 125 to 150 blankets a week, so 700 blankets for the whole summer is nowhere near enough. So whatever we can do to help get those kids their blankets, because the blankets are put on their beds before they arrive, and the kids get to take the blankets home with them at the end of camp. So it's a lifelong memory for them. Yeah. So it's something that definitely piqued my interest and made me go, yeah, I want to be involved in that. So I am going to get involved, and yeah. So this time I'm actually going to let you go, and you guys all have a safe and wonderful day. Bye.